Hello, and a big welcome to all my fellow coin collectors, history lovers, and treasure hunters across America. In the world of American coin collecting, some coins shine not just for their metal or mintage, but for the mystery they carry. Today, we're taking a close and fascinating look at one such coin, the 1972 D. Kennedy half dollar. At first glance, it might seem like just another coin from your change jar, but hold on. This piece could be worth a small fortune if you know exactly what to look for. Get ready, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to spot one of these hidden treasures and maybe, just maybe, find one of your own. Let's set the scene. It's 1972. America is deep into the post-silver era, with Kennedy half dollars now made of a copper-nickel clad composition instead of the once heavy 90% silver. The Denver Mint, bustling with production, strikes millions of half dollars that year. Yet among the sea of coins, a few rare pieces slip through, pieces with mistakes so slight, so hidden, that only the sharpest eyes could catch them, and those mistakes, they're what could make a regular coin collector's heart skip a beat. Now, let's talk about what makes the 1972 D. Kennedy half dollar so special. First, the key features you should know. The obverse shows the familiar, proud profile of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, while the reverse carries the striking presidential seal, masterfully created by Frank Gasparo. But it's not the design that makes the 1972 D a legend, it's the errors. One of the most sought-after errors for this year is known as the no FG variety. Now, if you're wondering what FG stands for, it's the initials of the reverse designer, Frank Gasparo, which are normally found just to the right of the eagle's tail feathers. On rare error coins, these initials are completely missing, gone, erased by a die abrasion or weak strike, and if your 1972 D. Kennedy half dollar is missing that tiny FG, you might be holding something truly extraordinary. But that's not the only thing to look for. Collectors have also spotted doubling on certain letters, particularly on Liberty, or on the eagle's wings. It's a subtle doubling, not screamingly obvious, but when you tilt the coin under light, the doubled lines seem to shimmer slightly, revealing themselves only to those who know exactly where to look. So, how do you spot one of these valuable coins yourself? First, grab a simple magnifying glass, nothing fancy needed. Flip your 1972 D half dollar to the reverse side. Look closely under the eagle's right side, just above the tail feathers. Normally, you should see a small F and G neatly placed. If those initials are missing, you may have struck gold, or, at least, numismatic gold. Next, tilt the coin slowly under a good light, and carefully check the lettering and eagle's features for any signs of doubling. Patience is key. Sometimes these errors hide in plain sight. Now, you might be wondering, why is a missing set of initials or a bit of doubling so valuable? The answer lies in rarity. Most 1972 D. Kennedy half dollars are perfectly normal, produced by the millions. But error coins like the no FG variety are incredibly scarce. Fewer than a few dozen high-grade examples are believed to exist. And when collectors see scarcity combined with demand, especially for a popular series like the Kennedy half dollar, prices can soar to unbelievable heights. Imagine rummaging through an old coin jar, only to realize you're holding a coin worth thousands upon thousands of dollars. That's the thrill of numismatics, the excitement that keeps collectors searching year after year. So, what is a 1972 D. Kennedy half dollar without the FG, or with sharp doubling, actually worth? Well, in pristine, top-graded condition. Some of these coins have sold for between $20,000 and an astonishing $145,000 at major auctions. Yes, you heard that right. A coin you could have sitting forgotten in an old dresser drawer could be worth more than a brand new luxury car, all because of a tiny missing detail and a sharp pair of eyes willing to find it. Now, before you dash off to check your half dollars, I want to hear from you. If you found a rare error coin worth thousands of dollars, would you sell it right away or keep it as a treasure for your collection? Drop your answer in the comments. I can't wait to hear what you would do, and don't forget, the next great coin discovery could be just a pocket full of change away. Happy hunting, and I'll see you in the next video. Number 2. In the world of coin collecting, Few pieces capture the spirit of America quite like the bicentennial coins, and today, we're diving deep into one of the most iconic of them all, the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar. It's more than just a coin. It's a piece of living history that could, if you're lucky enough, be worth a small fortune today. Picture it. The year is 1976. The United States is celebrating its 200th birthday with grand parades, fireworks bursting across the skies, and a wave of patriotism sweeping from coast to coast. To honor this historic milestone, the U.S. Mint released special editions of the quarter, the dollar. And yes, the Kennedy half dollar, unlike the regular issues, the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar features a unique reverse design. The Independence Hall in Philadelphia, the place where both the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution were debated and adopted. The obverse still features the strong, determined profile of John F. Kennedy, but the dates beneath his portrait now read not just 1 year, but 2, 1776 and 1976, a beautiful tribute to 2 centuries of American freedom. And now, let's talk about the key features that make this coin stand out even further. The 1976 Kennedy half dollars, minted in Denver, marked by a small D under Kennedy's neck, were struck primarily in a copper-nickel-clad composition. However, some special collector's editions were made with a 40% silver content, reserved mainly for special mint sets and proofs. This means, even without an error, certain versions already carry extra value due to their limited silver content. But here's where things get really interesting. Among the sea of bicentennial half dollars, there are hidden treasures, rare errors and varieties that only the keenest collectors know to look for, and those tiny mistakes can mean the difference between pocket change and a payday you won't believe. One major error you should keep an eye out for is known as the double die obverse. On some rare coins, if you look closely at the date, the word Liberty, or even Kennedy's profile itself, you'll notice a slight but definite doubling. This isn't wear or damage, it's a genuine minting mistake, when viewed under magnification. The letters and numbers almost look like they have a faint shadow, creating a doubled image. Another error that has captured collector attention is die cracks. Tiny raised lines on the coin's surface, often near Kennedy's hair or on Independence Hall. These cracks occur when the die used to strike the coin begins to fracture, while minor cracks are common, larger, more dramatic die breaks can command a premium from collectors eager to own a truly unique piece of minting history. So, how can you spot one of these valuable coins? First, always start with a magnifying glass and good lighting. Examine the obverse side carefully, focusing on the numbers 1776 and 1976. Check every letter of Liberty, and In God We Trust for signs of doubling. A ghostly second outline beside the main one. Flip the coin over, and study Independence Hall for fine cracks, breaks, or misstruck details. Pay extra attention to the clock tower. Some errors show a blur where the crisp architectural lines should be. And don't forget to check the edge of your coin. The 40% silver versions have a noticeably different edge appearance compared to the standard clad coins. A more solid, uniform silver look without the copper stripe that is common on modern clad coins. But why are these coins so valuable? Simple. Collectors love history, rarity, and mistakes. And the 1776-1976 Kennedy half dollar checks all 3 boxes. It celebrates the birth of a nation, comes from a special one-time only design, and when an error is present, becomes a true rarity that serious collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. Now here's the part you've been waiting for. When a 1776-1976 Kennedy half dollar with the right error and in pristine, high-grade condition crosses the auction block, it doesn't just sell, it soars. Some of these extraordinary coins have sold for amounts between $12,000 and an unbelievable $150,000, depending on the rarity and condition. Imagine finding one of these in your old collection, tucked away and forgotten. A small piece of metal carrying the weight of history and the promise of life-changing value. So now, I want to ask you, if you found a rare bicentennial Kennedy half dollar, would you keep it forever as a piece of America's story? Or would you cash it in and celebrate your lucky find? Let me know in the comments below. I'm excited to hear what you would do. Thanks for watching, and remember, the next great treasure could be hiding right in your own pocket. Happy hunting, and I'll see you in the next video. Number 3. There's something almost magical about finding an ordinary-looking coin that holds an extraordinary secret. Today, we're diving deep into a coin that many people might overlook, but collectors know better. The 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar may seem common at first glance, but hidden among the millions are a few rare gems worth more than you could imagine. Let's travel back for a moment to the early 1970s. The excitement of the space race, the sounds of classic rock filling the air, and in the middle of it all, the United States Mint is producing millions of Kennedy half-dollars. But in 1971, something changed forever for these coins. For the very first time, Kennedy half-dollars were no longer made of silver. Instead, they switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition, a major change that marked the end of an era for silver coinage in circulation. The 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar, struck at the Denver Mint and marked with a small D beneath Kennedy's neck, was part of this new generation. Most of them are worth face value, but not all. Some carry errors and varieties that transform them from simple pocket change into rare treasures. Let's talk about the key features that every collector should know. On the obverse, you have the familiar, striking portrait of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. Turn it over, and you'll find the powerful presidential seal, crafted by Frank Gasparo. An eagle clutching an olive branch and arrows, surrounded by stars, a symbol of peace and strength. Now, what really sets the 1971 D apart for collectors are the rare errors that made it out of the mint unnoticed. One of the most famous and sought-after errors for this coin is the 1971 D silver planchet error. You heard that right. Although 1971 was supposed to mark the end of silver coinage, a small number of 1971 D half-dollars were accidentally struck on leftover 40% silver planchets. Instead of the expected copper-nickel-clad composition, these coins ring differently, look different, and weigh slightly more, about 11.5 grams compared to the regular 11.34 grams. And that's not all. There are also examples of double die errors, where certain areas of the design, such as the date, the word Liberty, or parts of the eagle on the reverse, show slight doubling when viewed under magnification. Another error to watch for is clipped planchets, where a small crescent-shaped piece is missing from the edge of the coin, a rare and very collectible mistake. So, how can you spot one of these rare 1971 D Kennedy half-dollars? First, start with the weight. Use a precise digital scale if you have one. A normal 1971 D half-dollar should weigh around 11.34 grams. If yours tips the scale at around 11.5 grams, you could be holding one of the rare silver planchet errors. Next, listen carefully. A silver coin has a higher pitched, more bell-like ring compared to the duller sound of a clad coin when gently tapped out. It's a trick that seasoned collectors have used for decades. Then, use a magnifying glass to carefully examine the date and lettering on both sides of the coin. Look for any signs of doubling, particularly on Liberty or In God We Trust. Even a slight doubling can mean big value if authenticated. And don't forget to check the edges. Silver planchet coins will have a more solid, consistent edge color, without the telltale copper stripe seen on clad coins. But why are these coins so valuable? It comes down to rarity and a bit of mystery. A coin that was never supposed to exist, like a silver 1971 D half-dollar, becomes the ultimate collector's prize. Only a tiny handful were ever found, and that makes demand skyrocket among serious collectors. Add to that the nostalgic appeal of Kennedy half-dollars, which honor a beloved American president, and you have the perfect recipe for a coin that's not just money, it's a piece of American history. Now, I know you're wondering just how valuable these rare finds can be. Well, depending on the grade, condition, and type of error. Some 1971 D Kennedy half-dollars have sold for prices between $12,000 and an astonishing $150,000 at auction. Imagine flipping through an old jar of coins, hearing that bright ring, and realizing you just uncovered a 5-figure piece of hidden history. It's the kind of discovery that makes the world of coin collecting so thrilling and so addictive. So here's the big question for you. If you found a rare 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar worth of fortune, would you cash it in immediately or keep it as a priceless piece of your collection? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm really excited to see what you would do. Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey through one of America's most fascinating coins. Until next time, happy hunting, and may you always find treasure in the most unexpected places.